to, thank you, Greg. We flipped on to the building architecture. So the store that we're designing here is enhanced from what you may have seen in some of our other stores. We want it to be architecturally compatible with the community and the neighborhood. So we designed it with a clapboard siding to match, again, more residential character of the neighborhood. We want to enclose the perimeter of the building with brick piers, and that same theme is matched on the site. And the general height of the building is approximately 23 feet around the perimeter. We have the northeast corner at approximately 27 feet, and we have all the service area walls at the receiving dock as well as the rear service area at 14 feet. And again, the purpose of that, as referenced before, is to screen all the mechanical equipment we have around the building from site. This is another view of the front of the store. So this is the south facade as you approach the building. Again, a little different entry than you would traditionally see, with more glass than we've done in some of our other store designs. You also see another element that we've introduced in the design as well. To the left, let me highlight it, is a clear story window. And one of the design elements that we've introduced here is clear story lighting. So we're going to be introducing natural daylighting into the store. This is the view at the small receiving door, and you can see it here. This is the view of the receiving dock area. So what we've done is we've introduced additional landscaping, vine pockets along the receiving wall. And I'll go into a little bit more detail the next slide or two. This is the back service area that we've been referencing. And again, that's a 14-foot wall. But the main thing that I wanted to highlight is that the entire building facade is treated the same way with the clapboard siding and the brick. Again, another detail of the receiving dock area wall. Okay, let's go into a little detail in the back service area. There's been many questions raised about how we were treating back services along 23rd Street. So this image on top identifies it. You may not be able to see some of these items, but I'll highlight them as we go through them. The first element that we've highlighted is the wall. We talked about that. The next component in the service area is a transformer. Again, it's located here behind the wall. We have a emergency generator, so that allows us to maintain open during emergencies. That generator is going to be located within a sealed mechanical house. That will be typically exercised once a week for maybe 15 minutes, usually during the middle of the day. The next element is the compactor, and that's right here. That is accessed through these gates that are sealed all the time except for when the compactor is pulled and serviced. The compactor is sealed. The other element that we're introducing in this project is actually an internal deodorizer within the unit. There's been questions about potential odors that might come from it, so we've introduced that. Another element that we have typically in the store is sometimes grease is generated through the frying or some of the other processes. That grease is not outside the building. It's actually contained within the building. A truck will come up and pump it out. And the expected frequency of that is about every 2 weeks. The next element is the mechanical equipment in the building. Again, I referenced the refrigeration house, and we also have some additional rooftop units. Those elements are screened on the roof. In addition, the roof has a raised parapet along the rear to provide additional screening. And I have another drawing that's going to illustrate that as well. The next element that's in the back is the freezer. Again, that freezer is contained within the screened service area from view. We talked about the small deliveries. We refer to them as DSDs. That occurs here. And lastly, again, the larger truck receiving area screened behind the 14-foot wall of landscaping. Again, the entire perimeter, as we discussed, is heavily screened with landscaping.
This was mentioned briefly by Greg, but I just wanted to point it out while we have a very good slide of it here on what's happening on 23rd Avenue, because there's been concern about loss of parking. Our design now incorporates, as you'll see here, a sidewalk, green space and trees. All of the parking, the curb line remains where it is. All of the parking that's on 23rd Street will remain on 23rd Street. There's no proposal to encroach into the right-of-way or change the travel lane in any manner. So you will have the same thing on 23rd Street that you have now, and between the curb line you'll have sidewalk and green space and trees and landscape. And then you'll get to the 14-foot street. That was a good picture to show you how all of that works in the city.
Okay, the next image represents the 23rd Street, and if you envision this as a section through the building's cross-section, this is the 14-foot screen wall, this is the back of the building, this is that raised parapet I discussed, some of the rooftop equipment, again, the sealed compactor. This is 23rd Street, so this section would represent the 8 feet of green space. You have a sidewalk, you have the cars, and then the street, and then these are the adjacent buildings. They're about 2.5 stories. We generated this so everyone can understand the sight line, and when you're in the upper story level, that equipment and the building is screened from sight. Yes, we committed that our building will be sustainable. All the new construction that we build today is LEED certified. Some of the general principles is to reduce the environmental impact. We have very efficient use of water within the building. We have a very energy efficient building envelope. We meet and exceed the state energy codes. We recycle content throughout the store and processes. We do that to also minimize our waste stream and anything that goes out of the building. We address, as part of the overall building construction, enhanced air quality. And we're always looking at innovative new technologies that we can introduce within the building.
The mayor just pointed out that during the informal session there was a question about what does LEEDs mean? And right underneath the emblem here you can see LEED stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. And it's an entity that has been created to evaluate the environmental performance of a building, and they give certifications at certain levels if your building meets up to the standards. So Price Chopper has committed that they will get in that program and they will seek an environmental certification based on all the elements that they put into the building to conserve energy and keep it a green operation.
Thank you, Bob. It's a very stringent process to attain LEED certification at whatever level. Again, it's scrutinized by the USGBC, and again, in the end, the detailed certification is finally attained. And now I'll turn it over to Chuck Chisholm.